ओके सर। एक तो पहले डर लग रहा करने, ऊपर से और लेट हो रहा। सर 091019 091019 आता है। जीरो नाइन 1019। अच्छा अभी लगाए नहीं। तो इस तरह से बोलो। हाईलाइट्स। हाँ बात करेंगे। A very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Rishweta, and I'll be taking political science first year. Okay, so let us first discuss the weightage for each chapter. You have 12 chapters. The first chapter is meaning, nature, and scope of political science. You'll get one LAQ, one SAQ, and two VSAQs in this chapter. The total weightage is 19 marks. Second chapter is state and sovereignty. You will get one LAQ, one SAQ, and one VSAQ from this chapter. The weightage for this is 17 marks. Third chapter is nation, nationality, and nationalism. You will get one SAQ and one VSAQ. The weightage for this chapter is 7 marks. Fourth chapter, political concepts. In this chapter, you will study various political concepts like law, liberty, equality, justice, power, and authority. This is the lengthiest chapter and it has got more weightage. Then fifth chapter is political ideologies. In this chapter, you will study different political ideologies like Gandhism, Marxism, liberalism, individualism. You will get one LAQ, one SAQ, three VSAQs from this chapter, and the weightage is 21 marks. Sixth chapter is rights and duties. You will get one SAQ, two VSAQs from this chapter. The weightage for this chapter is 9 marks. Seventh chapter is citizenship. You will get one SAQ, VSAQ from this chapter. The weight is 7 marks. Eighth chapter, democracy. It is the easiest chapter. You will get one SAQ and two VSAQs from this chapter. Again, the weightage is 9 marks. Ninth chapter, secularism. You have only 3 questions in this. You will get one SAQ, one VSAQ. The weightage for this chapter is 7 marks. Your 10th chapter is constitution. You will get one SAQ, two VSAQs from this chapter, and the weightage for this chapter is 9 marks. 11th chapter is organs of government. You will get one LAQ, one SAQ, and one VSAQ from this chapter. The weightage for this chapter is 17 marks. And the last chapter is forms of government. You will get one SAQ and one VSAQ. The weightage for this chapter is 7 marks. This is again a lengthiest chapter. You have many questions in this. So let us start with first chapter, meaning, nature, and scope of political science. The weightage for this chapter is one LAQ, one SAQ, and two VSAQs. So the most important LAQ is define political science and explain its scope. Then you have short answers. Write a brief note on evolution of political science. Write a note on nature of political science. Relationship between political science and sociology, and relationship between political science and economics. You can expect one question out of these 4 questions. Coming to very short answers, you have 6 questions. You will get 2 questions out of this. What is meant by sociology, behavioralism, post-behavioralism, master science, Aristotle, and how political science is different from economics. So let us discuss the LAQ, define political science and explain its scope. Now, the word politics is derived from the Greek word polis, which means city-state. The subject of political science, it mainly studies about state and government. Aristotle, he did a scientific and systematic study of political science. So he is called as the father of political science. Now, this word politics, it is derived from the word polis, which means city-state. Aristotle, he used the word politics for the first time in his famous book, Politics, in 4th century BC. Coming to the definitions of political science, according to according to J.W. Gardner, political science begins and ends with the state. That means when you study political science, you will study about the state. According to Robert Dehel, political science is a scientific study of importance of power, authority, and influence. So, according to Robert Dehel, when we study political science, we come to know about the importance of power, authority, and influence. So let us now discuss the scope of political science. The following are few points which will help us in understanding the scope. So what do you mean by scope first? Scope means subject matter. So in political science, it studies about man in relation to the society, state, and government. Okay, Aristotle, he said that man is a social and political animal. So when we study political science, we study about the relationship of an individual with state, society, and the government. Political science, it is the study of state. Political science, it explains us about the origin, development, and nature and functions of the state. It also discusses the relationship between the state and the citizen. Political science, it studies about the government. So how government is formed, how government make the plans and policies for the welfare of this welfare of the people, we study in political science. So when we study political science, we study about the structure and functions of the government and different types of governments like parliamentary government, presidential government, unitary government, and federal government. Study of associations and institutions. Political science, it explains about the structure and functions of various voluntary organizations and its relationship with the state and the individual. In political science, we also study about the rights and duties of the people. Okay, so we say that the scope of political science, it includes the rights and duties of the people like human rights, civil rights, political rights. Then in political science, we also study about national and international issues. The scope of political science, it includes national issues like the nation, how nation is formed, how state functions, what is sovereignty. And it also studies about international issues like disarmament, international laws, international organizations like UNO, etc. Then when we study political science, we also study the comparative politics. We can compare the governments and political system of various countries. So it also forms a part of scope of political science. Political science, it makes a comparative study of governments and politics of different countries. Political science, it is a study of modern political analysis. Political science, it studies modern political concepts like political socialization, political development, political culture. Okay, and it also studies about public policies. David Easton, he considered political science as policy science. See, politics, that is government, it mainly deals with making policies for the welfare of the people, like agricultural policy, education policy, etc. So here we can say that the scope of political science is ever expanding. We have started with the study of individual, relationship of individual with the society, state, and government. Now we are saying that it studies about the various policies like public policy, education policy, population policy. So we can say that the scope of political science is ever expanding. I hope I'm clear with this topic. Let us move to short answers. Okay, the first one is evolution of political science. How political science has evolved. Evolved is developed. Okay, now the political science originated in Greek city-states. The political thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, they have developed this subject in 4th century BC. Aristotle is considered as the father of political science. As I told you, he did a systematic study of government and politics. For that reason, he is called as a father of political science, and he considered politics as a master science. So political science was considered as a study of state and government at that time. So during 4th century BC, till recent times, the study of political science was limited to the study of state and government. In 1930s, behavioral movement started. What is this behavioral movement? Behavioral movement, it studies the political behavior of an individual in the political system. That means how many people are involved, how people are involved in politics. The study of that is called as behavioralism. So this behavioralism, it started in 1930. This behavioral movement started in 1930. And after Second World War, it has extended to policy formulation and implementation. Hence, we call political science as policy science. Then post-behavioralism started as a reaction to behavioralism. See, in behavioralism, we studied only about the political behavior of an individual in his political system. Like, what is his involvement in the politics? But in post-behavioralism, we consider ethics and values are equally important along with the facts and methods. So the study of political science is ever changing and expanding. Here, if you see the evolution, it started with the study of state and government, and then comes the behavioralism, post-behavioralism. In post-behavioralism, we said that ethics and values are equally important. So here we can say that the study of political science, it keeps on changing and expanding. I hope this answer is very clear to all of you. Next is nature of political science. The word politics, as I told you, it is derived from the Greek word polis, which means city-states. So politics mainly, it studies about the state, government, and its institutions. So we divide the definitions of political science into two: traditional definitions and model definitions. Traditional definitions, according to traditional writers, political science mainly studies about state and government. Okay, the study of political science changed after Second World War. Just now we have discussed that in evolution. After Second World War, the whole study has changed. So according to the modern political writers, like Laswell, it is the study of power, how the power is gained and retained. Okay, in political science, according to modern political thinkers like Laswell, we can say that political science, it studies about how power is gained and retained. So in 1950s, again, the politics was redefined as a study of policy science, because the government, it was focusing on making more policies for the welfare of the people. So we can say that it is a policy science. In normative method, basically we study political science. We study various concepts like law, liberty, equality, justice, etc. But if you want to do an empirical, a detailed study, so if we want to do a detailed study of political science, here we will study how policies are made, how the political parties, they come into power, the voting behavior of the people. We will study, we will also study about pressure groups. Let us move to the relationship of political science with other social sciences like sociology. So what is sociology? Sociology, it is the study of society. So unless we understand the social system, we will not be able to understand the political system. So sociology, it is the root of all social sciences. So political science, it developed from this subject. Political science and sociology, they are not only interrelated, but they are interdependent. Knowledge of sociology is essential to a political scientist for making policies for the welfare of the people. The political scientist should have the knowledge of the society. Okay, so it is essential for us. It is essential to study social groups to understand the nature of the state. So Greeks, they did not differentiate between the state and the society. Social institutions, it has got it has a great impact on political life. The political changes in the state cannot be understood without the knowledge and social conditions of the institutions. See, for example, study of political activity in India needs a study of social factors like caste, religion, language, etc. in India. Then only we will be able to understand the political system of India. So to understand the political activity in India, we need to understand the social conditions. Next is relationship between political science and economics. We know political science, it studies about the government and state, whereas economics, it deals with the wealth. The political science and economics, they are closely related. Their common aim is welfare of the people. Unrest and dissatisfaction prevail in the society when the economic needs are not satisfied. Government will make policies for the welfare of the people. It has to consider the needs of the people while making the policies. So if the government policies, it does not take care of the needs of the people, then unrest and dissatisfaction will prevail in the society. So poverty many a times leads to immorality and anti-social activities. Individuals suffering from hunger do not show any interest in political aims and responsibilities. See, when you are hungry, you will not show interest in any other activities. So forget about political activities. You don't have anything to eat. Will you go and vote? You will not show any interest in voting. So Aristotle warned that economic inequalities will lead to social revolutions. If there is economic inequality, then it will lead to social revolutions. Economic problems can be solved only through political system. When government makes a good policy, then the economic problems can be solved. So government takes decisions on non-economic matters like taxation, imports and exports. The economic conditions influence the political decisions and policies of the government. The economic condition of a country, it will have a great impact on the policy making of a country. I hope I'm clear with the very short answers. Sorry, I'm clear with the short answers. Let us discuss some very short answers. What is sociology? Just now we have discussed the relationship between political science and sociology. Let us discuss what is sociology. As I told you, sociology is a social science which studies about society. In sociology, you will study about society. So it is the root of all social sciences. In sociology, we study about the social rules, customs and traditions, okay, and culture of a particular country. So political science, it is developed from sociology. Next is behavioralism. What is behavioralism? I told you. Behavioralism is the behavior of an individual in his political system. So behavioral movement, it started after Second World War. Charles Merriam, Alman, David Easton, they led this movement. They started this movement. So behavioralism, it emphasizes on the study of political behavior of an individual. Okay, in behavioralism, you will study the political behavior of an individual, and it became popular in 1950s. Behavioralism, it became popular in 1950s. Next is post-behavioralism. What is post-behavioralism? It is a reaction. It is a reaction to behavioralism. So behavioralists started empirical studies. They started more detailed study about political science, behavior of the people in the political system. And they said that ethics and values are equally important, along with the facts and methods. Not only the facts and methods are important, ethics and values, like how people are voting. Are they voting genuinely without any pressure or under influence? That also counts a lot. So in post-behavioralism, they said that ethics and values are equally important. Now let us see master science. What is master science? Aristotle he considered politics as a master science. Okay. He called politics as master science. He is the father of political science, as he did a detailed and systematic study of government and the state. He covered almost all the activities of individual in the society. That includes political and social institutions. So this political science is a comprehensive concept for Greeks. Greek political thinkers, they have done a detailed study on this topic. Now, who was Aristotle? Aristotle, he was the father of political science. Why he is called as a father of political science? Because he did an objective and systematic study of all the affairs of the government and politics. Okay, he considered politics as the science of the state, and he called it as master science. He called it as master science. I hope I am clear with these questions. Now, let us move to the next topic, that is how political science is different from economics. Political science, it deals with state and government, whereas economics, it deals with the, well, this is what I have explained when I was explaining about the relationship between political science and economics. I told you, political science, it deals with the state and government, whereas economics, it deals with the wealth. Economics mainly studies about production, consumption, and distribution, whereas political science, it studies about political institutions and public policies. I hope I'm clear with the chapter 1. This chapter has got weightage of 19 marks. And I insist, when you are learning, learn the complete chapter. Select a chapter according to the weightage, learn the complete chapter. And it is not just learning or reading. You have to practice writing also. Unless you write, you won't retain any. So writing will help you in retaining the answers. I'll share the notes soon with you all. I'll just, if you have any doubt, you can just put it in the comment box. We will try to resolve your doubts. Then coming to the second chapter, state and sovereignty. The weightage for this chapter is 17 marks. You will get 1 LAQ, 1 SAQ, and 1 VSAQ. So what are the important questions in this chapter? Mostly the essential features of the state are asked. This is one of the most important questions. And another is the characteristic features of sovereignty. Characteristic features of sovereignty is another important question. Coming to short answers, you have 4 questions. Okay. Kinds of sovereignty, difference between state and government, differences between state and society, and differences between state and association. Mostly, first 3 are most important. Any one can be expected. Coming to very short answers, you have what is state, what is government, what is society, monistic theory of sovereignty, pluralistic theory of sovereignty, internal sovereignty, and external sovereignty. We can expect one question from this. Let's discuss the features of the state. Essential features of the state. So what is state? State is a political organization. Only state has got sovereign power. Now, what do you mean by sovereign power? Sovereign power means supreme power. No other organization or institution is powerful than state. So we say that state has sovereign power. Okay. So state is a political institution and it has got sovereign power. No other organization or institution is as powerful as the state. So state has basically 4 elements. Okay. Whatever may be the type of government, every state will have 4 essential elements. The first one being population, territory, government, and sovereignty. Population means people. Territory is the geographical area. Government, it is an agent of the state. And sovereignty is the independence or supreme power of the state. So let us discuss the definitions given by various political thinkers. According to Woodrow Wilson, state is nothing but people. State is people organized for law within a definite territory. Woodrow Wilson, he said that state is nothing but people. State is people. Okay. People, they have organized in a definite territory. They are following certain laws. So we say that state is nothing but people organized for law within a definite territory. Where according to J.W. Burgess, state is a particular portion of mankind viewed as an organized unit. If you see, the definitions are similar. Here also we are saying that it is a portion of mankind. That means people who are living in a particular geographical area, they are viewed as one organized unit. So what is state? It is nothing but people living in an organized territory, or we can say that people following laws living in a definite territory. And what is the definition given by J.W. Burgess? State is a particular portion of mankind viewed as an organized unit. If there are no people, then we cannot call it as state. Okay. Let us move to the elements of the state. The population is the first element of the state. Population, I told you, population means people. Okay, population means people. Without people, no state exists. Okay, if there is no population, then we can't say that it is a state. So when we say population, it includes both rulers and the ruled. Rulers are the government, ruled are the people of the state. So state, it consists of people. If there is no population, then there is no state. And population, it includes both ruler and the ruled. So different political thinkers have different opinion regarding the size of the population. Okay, like for example, here Plato, he said that 5,040, that is 50-40, 5,040 is the ideal number of population. That means a state can have 5,040 as an ideal number of the population, whereas Rousseau, he thought that 10,000 is the ideal number. Now we have billions of people living in one state. Okay, so there is no upper or lower limit to the size of the population. According to Aristotle, there is no limit. There is no upper or lower limit to the size of the population. The modern states will have exist with huge population, and some states has got very less population. There is no limit to the size of the population. Coming to the second element, that is territory. Territory is nothing but the boundaries of the state. So it is the second essential element of the state. So how will you identify the territory? It is the geographical area of the state. Territory denotes the geographical area of the state. It includes land, water around the land, and the space land. All this together forms the territory of the state. Land, water around the land, and the space above the land forms the territory of the is government. Okay, it is an important element of the state. Okay, it is a third element. It is an agency. It is an agency which formulates and implements the laws of the state. Government is an agency of the state which formulates the laws and implement the laws, okay, to regulate the human activities. Okay, government, it makes laws for regulating, for controlling human activities, and it works for the welfare of the people. It works for the welfare of the people. So government has three organs. Every government, whatever may be the type of government, parliamentary government, presidential government, unitary government, whatever may be the type of government, you will have three organs, that is legislature, executive, and judiciary. Legislature, it makes the laws. Executives, they implement the laws. And judiciary, it interprets the laws. If any law is against the constitution, judiciary has power to declare those laws as unconstitutional. Coming to the fourth element of the state, that is sovereignty. Sovereignty is the fourth element of the state. Only as I told you earlier, only state possess this sovereign power. Only state has got sovereign power. No other organization or institution possesses this sovereign power. So what do you mean by sovereignty? It means supreme power. It is through this sovereignty, the state is internally supreme. That means it has control over all the individual and institutions within the state, and externally, it is independent. Okay, externally, it is independent. That means no other country is controlling. So a state which is independent, we call it as a sovereign state. An independent state is called as a sovereign state. Okay. In recent times, another element has been added, that is international recognition. International recognition has become an essential element in recent times. Whenever a new state is formed, it has to be recognized by other states and organizations like UNO. Then only they can work for the welfare. Okay, so this was elements of state. So I'll end my session here. We'll continue in the next class. What are its problems? What problems? Yes, you should know. Oh,